Piano man, front and center. What's your name?
Lawrence.
Lawrence? You ever played keyboards? Any techno?
No, I only play piano.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Are there any drummers in the house?
I play percussion.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yup!
Are you sure I can't do that? Because I really want to do that.
You can't do that because we only do that when we have the intro. The intro already happened.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
We're not here right now with Oleg. Oleg has all the technologies and the internets.
Gotcha.
So we have to do all natural.
Check.
Yeah, take your shirt off. Ready? Okay, so this podcast is going to be brought to you by naked guys in a cabin. There we go. This is better.
Much
We
better.
did not have a bad take before this. This is the first take we have ever had
Right.
because our show is natural. It is not scripted. Hi, Jason. Honey cats. So,
We're glad to be here in
a cabin.
Frendz podcast.
Cabins. Friends cabin. Everything is whatever it is, friends attached to it.
Okay.
So, we're out here in Texas. I mean, not
Oh,
in
we're not allowed
Texas.
to talk about it.
We can't talk about it because of the witness protection program.
Right.
But that's a whole other thing. So this is Jason from BuzzHive.
Hey.
We always talk about BuzzHive. So here he is in the flesh.
Here I am.
He is not as good looking as we described, but he's
Sorry.
he's not bad.
I can't
mean,
help
he's a very strong 7.
I've got a great personality.
Yes. So, reason why I wanted to have this conversation is because you're like a sponsor. You've helped us like launch. You've helped us a lot with like the web and some of the marketing and the logo, and we've kind of ranted and raved about you. But I really wanted to have you talk about some of the things you've told me off camera and some of the things that you have not told me about. On camera, and I wanted to kind of ask questions and get your opinion and get your take on marketing, on social media, on everything that you do, and why and
For
how
free?
you do it. Yeah, I'm not paying you for this.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Gotcha. Check.
So, I think the first thing I would like to hear is like, how did you get into the witness protection program?
Well, had a couple of businesses go the wrong way.
I
Yeah,
see.
that's what happens.
No, but how did you get into marketing
Well,
or whatever? Where you are now?
okay.
Rewind.
Okay.
How did you get there?
So right now, BuzzHive is mainly about online marketing, SEO, search engine optimization, pay-per-click.
Paperclips, man,
Paperclips.
that is amazing.
I've invented a new kind of paperclip that's really taken the internet by storm. Helps with those piles of internet things.
SEOs.
Of
Right?
SEOs.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that's mainly
I'm
what
getting
I'm
everything.
doing.
I'm getting.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm understanding.
Yeah, so that's basically what I do is I make paperclips for the
SEO.
SEOs.
Sign up, guys. Have a good day. Thank you for
Yeah,
tuning
so
in.
you can find us at buzzhive.net.
No, seriously.
We do search engine optimization, pay-per-click, and really what we try to do is help small businesses get their name out locally. That's primarily what we do. I usually get my foot in the door through design, and that's what I've done the longest is graphic and web design.
Did you go to school for that, or did you just kind
I
of learn
did not
yourself?
go to school for that. It was something I always just liked and was good at.
Because you're an artist. You do art, cartooning, and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
I mean, from what I've seen when we hung out, I've seen it
Yeah,
before. That's why.
and so I made a portfolio for a job, and I got the job. They hired me for a very small amount of graphic design work, making logos and recreating logos for hard hats, which was very exciting work.
Man, really?
Yeah, it was unreal. But then,
Crazy graphics. Every time I drive by a construction site, man, look at those hard hats.
I know those are nice. Safety first.
I wonder if Jason did those because they look awesome.
I can tell you way more about hard hats than anyone needs to know. But
On the next episode.
But after a month of that, they realized that I wanted to learn a lot more and do a lot more. So I took over our website, started building websites, learning how to do web design, and really web design is what I love. I love print. I make catalogs and printed materials all day long, but the online world is so much more fun because it's so much bigger to work in. You're not really confined to anything. But just ending with design, that just kind of ended the relationship with clients because it was done. And so doing online marketing, search engine optimization.
You like it more because you could do design and other things.
Yeah.
Not just...
Because I want to build a relationship, and so I like having that relationship. If it's just I design something and then it's over, then it's just over, which is fine and good.
Yeah.
If that's how I fit, but I like having that relationship. So,
okay, I see.
And what's exciting about search engine optimization, pay-per-click, and we can talk about more in detail if you want, is that it's constantly changing.
Yeah.
When I first started doing it 10 years ago, pay-per-click, everything looked completely different than what it does now. And there's a lot of people that jumped on the bandwagon, did a lot of search engine optimization that is actually hurting them now because it's changed so much.
Why? Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, there's all kinds of technical things in the coding of a website, meta tags and different things that people were abusing. They were just filling it with all kinds of either competitors' information to get people to come to their site.
Yeah.
And the search engines started ignoring that information or blocking that information. But if you had done...
So it's just like hubba bubba, whatever.
Yeah, and so if you had done all those things...
Cats with a K, cats with a Z.
That's right. Kittens playing with yarn. That's the one that got everybody. So...
Seriously?
No, but those are the most popular YouTube videos. So, all of that doesn't really work anymore. And it really just is ignored by the search engines. And it kind of blacklists your website if you're doing those older things.
So what's a new age SEO?
Well...
or where is it going, or what's the trend, or like?
Well, the latest trend.
Because the reason why I asked, this isn't just like a list of questions I've written down. This is something that I'm interested in, and for Frendz podcast, for my business, for other ideas that I have, for my own personal stuff, it's kind of I feel like there's a lot of mystery about it if you're not in it, and I feel like a lot of people give you a bunch of BS answers.
Oh, absolutely.
And give you BS quotes, or they're not honest about what they're doing, or they're not honest about what they're providing. Because to a basic person, to a person who doesn't know a lot about it, it's like, I don't know that world. That's why I hired you. And it's like we're getting your car fixed at a shop. It's like, oh man, you need that rust proofing because man, your windows are fogging up major.
That's
so
absolutely
it's the same
true.
thing. You don't know, like someone that doesn't understand cars or understand whatever.
Right.
You don't know what you need, and so I feel like because technology and internet and web design and web development and apps, all that stuff there's so much mystery to someone that doesn't work in that field.
Yeah.
It's nice to get answers like from someone like you, because I've gotten a lot of honest answers and a lot of honest opinions from you about that. So SEO is like this big, for me it's like I have some awareness of what it does, but for the most part it's like a big what?
Yeah. Well, okay. So there's a lot to say about that because it is a mystery to everyone. It's a mystery to the people that are in the field working on that stuff all the time.
Because it's changing.
Because it changes all the time, and there's not a formula that if you do this, this, and this happens. There are systems and there are best practices and different things and those things change, and kind of what the search engines are looking for change all the time. Specifically, one of the last Google updates, the last one that happened a few months ago, it was all about mobile. So you might have had a site that's been performing well for 5 years, and you've got a lot of traffic, you've got a lot of people coming back all the time, and your information is good, you've got good content, you've got pictures, images, or whatever. But if your site was not mobile responsive, all of a sudden that was working against you.
Mobile responsive meaning like your site doesn't change for a phone.
Right.
It stays big and you have to zoom in to press buttons and
Exactly.
click
Yeah.
tabs.
So it just, depending on your screen size, everything just adjusts. And so if your site didn't do that, if it didn't pass the tests, all of a sudden you're not the authority anymore. And so for a search engine, I'm going to primarily talk about Google. Can I talk about Google?
Yeah,
okay.
fine.
All right.
They're one of our sponsors. Thank you, Google, for all your help, all the searches that you provided for us.
So their main goal, a search engine's main goal, is to give the best possible search result they possibly can when somebody searches something. Every product they roll out, if it's YouTube, if it's Google Plus, if it's Google Maps, the whole point is that they want to give the best possible search result.
Yeah.
So the reason they come out with those products is so that they can get information about places, businesses, websites that have information. And the only way that they're going to have the right information about you is if you give it to them. So they're going to know what they know about you, one and first through their products. So like Google Plus is a huge thing that you need to have. So you're giving the information that you want Google to have about you first. And so they're going to look at that. Then you've got to submit your site and your information to the search engines so that they know to be looking at you. Because build it and they will come does not really work. You can't just have a website and then boom, all of a sudden you're going to be on the first page of a search result. So they've got to have that information from you. Then the information that you tell them about you or your company or your website, that has got to be what is actually on your site. So, and we talk mainly about domain authority and page authority. Domain authority is how many other sites are pointing back to you. And so if you have a lot of people pointing back to your site, then that makes you look important, popular, but the word really is the authority. And so Google says there's a lot of people coming back to look at this site, so we need to look at them. But if you just have a lot of links, that doesn't really do it. It used to do that. So what we were talking about earlier, 10 years ago, if you could just go and get as many links out in cyberspace back to your site, then you had high authority just because of mass numbers. Now you've got to have good quality. If you have 1,000 links coming back to your site, but your site is about donuts, and you've got a link coming back from a site about cats, and then one about cars, none of those things. That
sounds like a great website.
Yeah.
What website is that?
I made that site. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Cats, donuts, and cars.
And it's actually all about cinder blocks, which is crazy. So
it's a construction company.
Yeah, it's all hard hats. Did I mention hard hats? But you've got to have consistent, real information. So if it's a high quality site that's saying similar information coming to your site, showing you as the authority, they're going to trust you more. And all marketing is about trust. I could jump around, but I'll come back to that. So the main thing about search engine optimization is you're trying to build that trust. So you want your domain authority to be big, so other people are pointing back to you saying you're the authority. But then your site has got to be optimized for search engines. So we talk about page authority, and you've got to have a high page rank. So the search engines say, yes, I came to the site because somebody searched this particular keyword. They were looking for donuts. We got to this site, and this site is all about donuts. It's a good match. If you were searching for donuts, it's not really here. But if you search for donuts and you come back,
I keep seeing a donut over here.
And the site is about toast, that's square and flat. It's not round with a hole in the middle, and so it does not match. And all of a sudden they're going to say, that's not a good fit. And Google knows a lot more about us than we think. So that's what you're trying to do in search engine optimization, is build that domain authority. And you've got to have that good page rank, so all of it matches. You look like the authority. Not just look like the authority, but you are the authority. The more Google trusts you, the more they're going to put you up as the top search result.
So that's where, that's one of the things you like to do. It's like one of your specialties. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's a billion different things that go into that. Maybe not a billion, but a lot of different things. But the top things are building those high quality links. And then making sure that your site is giving the information that you want out. And a lot of times, like if you're in the business, if you know all about donuts and you know the word that somebody should be using to describe a donut, but they're using another word, you got to figure out what that word is and help and make sure that
it's called the word's obesity.
So
obesity.
How to stop obesity? Then they come to your site, but that's got to be the right thing. you've got to figure out what that is, and that's what SEO is. SEO is not a one-time thing where you set it up on your site and then boom, you're famous forever.
Yeah.
Because there's tracking, there's analytics that you have to look at. You can't make good decisions without information.
Yeah.
And that's what search engine optimization is doing, is you're getting the information, you're looking at it, you're making good decisions based on that. So really, SEO is also not just a push the button and it just happens. You've got to gather information, and then it's a snowball effect. You're just growing good SEO on top of good SEO, and then you can take over the world. But if you just try to do one small thing, you don't make much of a difference.
So I'd say I'm a business owner. Like, give me your opinion. Not opinion, but like, let's say I'm a business owner. I need, obviously, you get found on the internet.
Yeah.
What is my first step? Like, BuzzHive aside.
Yeah.
Like, what is my first step? Like, what's more important? A Facebook page, paying for a website, paying for an Instagram, someone to manage my stuff? Like, do I just make posts? Like, what was your recommendation to a client? Let's say I have a business, I don't know what to do, help me.
Okay. So there's a lot of things, because like you said, you can get quotes from a million different places to get different numbers.
And you can just make them yourself too. Like my website, for the journal. Like I'm in the process of like looking for someone to. If you can recommend someone to help me rebuild my website, that'd be great.
I know somebody.
But he's very good looking. 7.5.
Great personality.
Great personality. But so I'm in the process of maybe like rebuilding the website, redoing it, with a whole different focus, I'm like, it's like, phase 2, let's say, of my business. But when I was in phase 1, I didn't have money for someone to build a website. I barely had money for rent.
Okay.
So what's my first step, like, to go forward?
Well, I'll tell you.
Or is that a loaded question?
Well, no, I'll tell you a little bit. My very first conversation before anybody ever becomes a BuzzHive client is, I've got to get information about them, what they're selling, because everybody's different. You're not going to market donuts the same way you market hard hats.
Okay.
But you've got different clients maybe, and you've got it's a completely different field.
Yeah.
So donut users use Facebook. Hard hat users use LinkedIn. I don't know if that's true.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a different kind of thing. Or they're just doing search engines. So the best place to start depends on what you are and who your clientele is, who's your demographic.
Let's say I'll kind of help you kind of tweak it for the sake of this podcast.
Okay.
It's something general, like I'm a real estate agent, or where it's you're in a sea of these people, and you want to be noticed. I'm just gonna write blogs, and I'm gonna start podcasts, but like, how do you get noticed in the sea of people that are out there?
So here's a couple of things. Like Frendz podcast is a little bit different because it's national, it's international, right?
I know.
Absolutely.
Kansas, what's up, Kansas out there?
So that's a little bit different. Most small businesses care about the people like in a 50-mile radius.
Yeah.
They're local. So I would start local. The first things you got to do, there's Bing and there's Yahoo, but Google is king. So you want to make sure you own your Google Plus local. And so you can go in through your Google Plus page, set up your business, they'll send you a postcard, you put a pin in, and you verified your business. You've got to make sure that all of your information is accurate on there. You need to do the same thing for Bing and Yelp. And every time your name, address, and phone number, in the industry we call that NAP, N-A-P, name, address, phone number, those are called citations, and the more citations you have out there, those are high quality links coming back to your site, and it's that information out in cyberspace coming back to your site, helping build your authority. So all the local things need to happen first. You want to have a Yelp, a Foursquare, whatever. Then you need those social things and do the local side of it. Facebook, local. Have a business page, not just a Facebook account. But
because I notice a lot of people like, we'll use their personal page for business.
Yeah,
I'm like,
doesn't
don't
work.
do that.
No.
That is bad.
And
Separate
so,
those two.
Because we could talk about Facebook for an hour.
We don't have an hour. We have only half an hour.
But but all the local things on that. So every business needs to set up their local, and whether you're national, international, all online, whatever, you still need to have. You need to own those directories for your business. And if you're in multiple locations, each location needs to have its own thing because Separate. Yes, I'm sorry. Separate own page.
Like I have 2 locations: Drum Lab East Sac, Drum Lab Rockland. They have to have separate pages.
Yeah,
wow.
Definitely. I would definitely do that.
Wow.
So
did not know that.
Yeah, so you're saturating the internet. That's what you're doing. But then there's all kinds of other local directories, and I could talk about a product we have that I won't.
Yeah.
But that
and the other thing is, if you guys have questions, because I think we could talk about, we could do 5 different episodes on this.
Yeah.
We're gonna kind of move forward, but if you have questions about this, you can more than welcome to email us, and we'll forward them, or Jason can record another video like that. You can do another like from your home, answer some of these questions for you guys to have a kind of a portal, through Frendz, through Jason, you through Frendz, or you have access to, or you can just directly contact him. I don't mean it like that.
It doesn't matter.
But I want you to use our website. But for sure.
Building those.
That was
links.
a joke. That was a really bad setup joke that I mumbled through. So
you've got to build your presence, your online presence. So all those free directories and building citations, those name, address, phone number, and your information back to your site, and have the right information about you that you want out there that matches your website. As many of those as you can do. Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, Foursquare, Yelp, just anything you can possibly do. That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
To start building those high quality links. The problem is there's 1,000 that you could put in that don't help you. There's 50 that are Google approved, that Google already says that they're a high authority, and you want to be in those. So there's all kinds of things like that. So for anybody, just generally across the board, you've got to get your name out there. And the easiest way is through social media. Everybody understands social media. It's quick. It's easy.
Yeah.
The thing about every bit of marketing is that it needs to be consistent. If you say, I haven't done anything on Facebook for 4 months. Let me do 500 posts on this Friday night because I have some time. That doesn't help you.
Okay, so I shouldn't have done it last Friday.
Right. So
Facebook.
It would be more powerful for you to do it once a week at the same time. Monday morning at 8:00 would be a lot more powerful than trying to just put a lot of stuff in at one time. So. And there's a
consistency is key for a lot of things, and same with marketing.
Because everything online, we don't have to talk about this forever, but everything online, if someone hears about you from a friend, any kind of referral, or you had an ad on the radio or a newspaper ad or anything, they're not going to get in their car and just drive out and say, "Oh, where is that place? I'm going to go and find them." They're going to go and search you on the internet, or they're going to pull out their phone and they're going to search for you. So you have to own your online real estate. I say in conversations with potential clients, what are you paying in rent? You need to be paying that much in your online real estate as well, because that's how people are looking for you. So it's kind of a new concept for people to say, I got to pay that much on online marketing. I'm already spending $500 to be in the yellow pages.
Yeah.
But bad idea. So you've got to own your online real estate. If you leave it up to other people to own it, you're not going to be found. You're going to be always pushed down to the bottom of search results. Okay.
So how does, let's say, do you have a certain, like, let's say if someone wanted to approach you or someone else, what are some questions that they should figure out for themselves before approaching like a marketing firm or a web developer, or like, hey, what should I know about myself to help me find the best fit as far as what I'm looking for?
So there's a lot of questions that you need to know about yourself. Obviously, you need to know what you want people searching to find you. If you're selling aprons for restaurants, you want to make sure you have like restaurant aprons, not necessarily. I can't think of another kind of apron, like apron sinks.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you're not super broad in your key terms, but you want people. you want to know what people are searching for, but you need to know what those keywords are that match your product. So I said that kind of dumb, but you need to know what you want people to search for to find you. Then then any good online marketer is going to do some research to see if those keywords have search volume or not. Because just because it's a word that you think is good, if only 50 people are searching that a month, there's no point in trying to spend money on trying to optimize your site for that word.
And they'll probably not give you that honest
Right.
answer.
Because any marketer they're gonna hopefully be an expert in what they're doing, but they're not gonna be the expert in you. So I've got to find out all the information I can about you so that I can put what I know into effect for you, not just make you fit into my cookie cutter system. Right. So that's the main thing. Then you also need to know what kind of time you're going to put into it, because that helps you figure out what you need from somebody. So can you do a post a week on a blog? Can you do your Facebook? Can you update your Twitter account? What kind of time do you have to manage that? If you don't have any time, then you need to know that you need a marketer that can help you create that content or whatever.
Or just coach you on it.
Yeah. The other thing, if you already have some kind of online presence, let's say you have a website that's 5 years old, and your brother-in-law made it for you and they own it and they did everything, you don't have the passwords, you need to own all of that stuff. And either you need to start from scratch or you need to get all of that information because you need to own all of that. Those are the main things that we start with a client, is making sure they own their stuff, find out what they want to be marketing for, and figure out how much time they have to put into it. What you need to know from your marketer is what does success look like to them. So if I'm going to be paying you money to boost my online presence, what does success look like? Is it just traffic to the site, or just my placement on Google, or what does success look like, and does that match what you want? And what can you offer me, and how am I going to see those results? You always, because for search engine optimization, pay-per-click, or anything, you've got to be able to see results, and it's so easy to track results online, but you need to be able to see that.
Or understand what you're looking for.
So let's see where we are right now. What am I going to look like in a month, and how can I see how that changed, or how that changed, or how it didn't change at all? How can I see what my money is doing? And so that's a huge part of, you need to make sure that they're going to do something and show you what they're doing. And you need to make sure, again, that you own everything they're doing, that they don't own what you're going to do. So if they're going to set up a Facebook account for you, if you decide to stop paying them and go somewhere else, or hire somebody to come in-house and do it, that you own that and they don't own that. Same thing with your website, your domain, and everything.
Because you can get big time screwed.
So
how does your, because I'll kind of end with this, and if we have more questions, we'll come back to, we'll do another one of these or whatever. We'll have you Skype in. How does BuzzHive work? Because we've kind of joked about it, and it's fun and everything, but I would like to, the whole point of this whole thing is to get some real information, okay, this is why we talk about it, and this is how it works. As far as the marketing program, free site, you sign up for marketing. How does all that work?
Again,
I know it changes, but
we do
general.
We do everything custom for everybody. I mean, of course we follow best practices and have certain things that we have to do for every client, but it really depends on what people need. So,
are you talking about the fruit baskets, or?
Yes. But if you need social media work and help done, we'll make that part of the package. With the free websites, because everything starts and ends with the website. You've got to have the good information, and everything else, social media, whatever, everything comes back to the site. So we want to make sure that is perfect. And so that's why we give that free site, because if you have a site that we either don't have full access to, or it's broken, or whatever, we just don't even want that to be a stumbling block. So we just want to give you a new website that you own and that you control.
Yeah,
and
fresh start.
Yeah, and that you walk away with, if you ever want to walk away. But we want to be able to make sure that we have full control over that, so that we can do everything on the outside to come back to make sure that works. So we just don't want that to be a stumbling block. So we give it to you for free. I mean,
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so, and I mean, that's like for the basic content side, of course, all kinds of functionality or specific things or an e-commerce store or whatever, that's a different kind of thing. But again, that's the conversation. And then we do research. I do a lot of research before we even start or get a deposit or anything, but we look at your keywords that you want to be found for, and we make sure that the search volume is good, make sure that it matches your industry. We look at your competitors, see what the people that are showing up for the keywords you want to be found for, if they're doing better than you, why are they doing better?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of research that goes into finding out just to get you started. So that first month, you're going to see a little bit of a boost just in your presence, but we're getting information so that we can move forward making good decisions. And so, I mean, I could talk pricing, but it really, part of my conversation initially is what is your budget and what are your expectations. So if your expectations cost $5,000 a month, that would be ridiculous. But $1,500 a month, but your budget is $100 a month, well then your expectations, I'm going to help you see what we can do for $100
start small
a month.
and then revisit
and see
it.
what the expectations are. And then that's going to start making you money so that you can grow. I'm not going to force anything on you, but we're going to, like you said, grow into what works for you. And so that's...
Yeah, you spend $100 a month for 3 months, then you
Yeah.
can spend $150 a month, 3 months more.
Yeah.
And
And the reason that SEO doesn't work for so many people, it does work if it's done properly, but the reason that it fails a lot is somebody goes to a company that has a cookie cutter solution, and they've got 500 other clients in your same area and your similar product doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And
because they're not going from city to city to city. They're semi-local.
And so it's not really, there's not any kind of competition really, because everybody's just that same across the board doing the exact same thing. So you're not getting any kind of custom work. They do some work for you and then they track it. There's not really a lot of ongoing, they're not analyzing because you're not paying for them to analyze it because they've just got too much work to do and not enough people to do it.
Yeah.
So that's why it fails, because people, they do it and then it just moves on. They're not tracking it and changing it. It is a living, breathing thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, cool. Hey, this is awesome. I'm really glad we did this. If you guys have questions, any questions, send them to us. Send them to BuzzHive, wherever you want to send the questions. BuzzHive.net is the website. If you want to inquire about any kind of services, SEO, run through it again. SEO.
Search engine optimization, SEO, pay-per-click, web design, all
Logos.
social media, logo, any kind of graphic design, t-shirt design, anything. And we also do mobile apps. So.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have questions, we will be answering those next week, maybe, if we have them.
Absolutely.
We'll have them on again through Skype or something like that, because you live in a different
Atlanta.
city.
I live in Atlanta.
And we live in Sacramento. So, peace out. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this was informative, and I hope you guys have fun. We'll be back next week. Thanks a lot.